Good morning all. Welcome to the session on system software. Today I am going to discussing about what the main assembler functions and the simple program just they are taking for explaining for including all the concepts in SS. That relocation, loading, linking, for everything just they are taking a simple example program. I'm going to explain that program what they have mentioned in your textbook, and the same program is going to be carrying to entire the what throughout the SS. That is the concepts of, while explaining that concepts of relocations, linking, loading, for everything just we are taking the same concept there. So first just I want to explain that program, what actually that program just is going to do, and how actually that object code is being generated for that that particular program. Also just I am going to explaining the algorithms, what are the algorithms are needed to process the user program that has been written in higher level, assembly level language. So here this thing just I already what discussed with you people, right? The role of an assembler. So the role of an assembler is nothing but it is going to converting an assembly level language into machine code or native code. So whatever the source code, just source program, it is in the form of what assembly level language code. So that should be input to an assembler. That should be input to an assembler. The assembler is taking that program. So then it is going to process that program line by line. Then it is going to convert that program into object file. So how actually it is going to create an object file? By generating an object code for each and every line. So after generating an object code for each and every line, then it is going to combining all those things together. So then it is going to forming what an object file. The object file, it is having different kinds of records. In the last session just I have discussed all those things. So here the assembly is going to generate an object code for the linker. The linker is going to link dynamically whatever the subroutines which are required for that program, whether it is predefined what subroutines or some kind of user defined subroutines. So first just it is going to link all those things while it is loading. So finally then it is going to give the executable code for the loader to be loaded into the primary memory for its execution. So the main role of an assembler, it takes the source program, so then it is going to convert that source program into object code. How actually is going to generate an object code? It has to process every line of that program. For every line it is going to generate an object code. After that then it is going to combining all those things together, then it is going to forming a single object file which is having a number of records within that. So here as I said, just I am taking the same program, just what they have mentioned in your textbook, because it is feasible for explaining all the concepts in SS. So here what that program it is there means, so the program is nothing but whatever the program just they are given there. So it's nothing but that program it is doing like the main purpose of that program. It is going to read the n number of records from input device. The input device code name it is F1. So as I said, for identifying any kind of input and output device, yes of course every input and output device having its own identification numbers. It is in the form of hexadecimal format. So here they have considered that input code, the code for input device it is F1 and store in buffer. So here this program is doing is, it is going to read record. At a time it is going to read only one record at a time. So after reading, that record is going to be stored in a buffer. Buffer is nothing but it is a memory variable to store the huge amount of data. So let us assume the record is capable of holding. It is capable of holding some of the characters. It is having some limitations. So here the record it might be having any number of characters until its limitation. It might be having 10 characters, 1 characters, 100 characters like that. So just it is going to read the records from the input device. So what is the input device, from which input device it is reading? The input device name it is F1. So after reading that one, what actually is going to do is, for reading each character from an input device, each characters must be stored into a buffer, buffer. So after that, copies them to the output device. So once the record, one record is being read, so that record it might be having any number of characters. Once the first record is finished, the same record has to be displayed onto the output device. So what is the, once the record is being read from the input device, at a time it is able to read only single character. For each single character, just it is going to read and store, like that. So once the first record is being done, it might be having any number of characters. The next task is, it has to display that the same record onto the output device. So what is the code of the output device? It is 05. It is going to copy them to the output device. So at the end of the file, writes an extra EOF on the output device, then arcs up to the operating system. So means what actually this program is doing is, a file is nothing but it might be having n number of records. So at a time I can read only one record. After reading a first record, I want to display the same record onto the screen. Again I can read the second record. Again just it is, I am going to displaying onto the screen. I am going to read the third record, I am going to display. So after reading the nth record, just I am going to displaying the last record onto the output screen. So after that, the file is empty. All the records have been read and have been displayed onto the screen. So means the file is empty. File is nothing but it is having the number, it is consisting number of records, right? So once all the records have been done with reading and writing, so the file is empty. So once the file is empty, no more records are there to be displayed onto the screen. So at that time, I want to display a character string, it is EOF, onto the output device, that is end of file. Isn't it? So means a file, it is consisting n number of records. The user, that program, it can read only one record at a time. That record it might be having any number of characters until and up to the maximum length of the record. Just I am going to telling what is the maximum length of the record while I am explaining that program. Right. So after reading the first record must be displayed onto the screen. So while displaying that record, it should have some characters. So means I want to get to know that the length of that record. It might be having 10 characters, 100 characters, up to maximum length of characters. So after displaying, then I am able to read the second file. The second file is going to be initialized. Again the second file, just I am going to reading, the second file it is going to be displayed. So just I am going to displaying all the records, whatever the records which are present in that file. So once all the records have been finished, so then I am going to displaying, that is no more records are there to be displayed onto the screen. So hence just I want to display only that string, that is EOF. For data transfer, in this case we are using two operations, read data and write data. So before read and write the data, just we have to use one more instruction, that is the test device instruction, as I explained already. That is test device, it is going to test the device every time for transferring the data, whether it is ready or not. If it is ready, it is going to set the conditional code flag bit as less than. If it is not ready, it is going to set the conditional code flag bit as equal. So once the device is ready, then it is ready to transfer the data. So means either reading or writing, right? So after that, end of each record, it is marked with a null character. So yes, of course. So first I am going to reading the n number of characters. So characters is nothing but it should not have any kind of digits. So once I have entered, so just I am enter only 8 characters like this here. At that time, just I want to end up that record. So if I want to end up that record, just what I need to do is, I want to enter 0. That is the hexadecimal value. So if we are entered the value 0, so means it is end of record. So means no more characters, it can be read from an input device. That is reading is stopping in that particular point. It might be having any number of characters, 1 or 2, 100, 200 like that. So means end of each record is marked with a null character. How actually just I am going to what make a null character by putting 0. By putting 0, end of the file is indicated by the 0 length record. So means if no characters are there in the record means that is the length of the record, it is 0. Length of the record, it is 0. So means that is the 0 length record. So once we got the 0 length record, so then what actually it is, what actually it does mean is what it is end of file or end of record. End of record means no more records are there to be displayed from the file. So again, two main subroutines just we are using. One main routine is there in that program. Just I am going to explain that program. Again, it is having two subroutines. Subroutine functions just we are using JSUB and RSUB. So just we have two subroutines here. One subroutine is for reading the file. Another subroutine is for writing to the file. Reading from the file, it is one subroutine for reading the content from the file, and another subroutine writing the content to the file. So for that just we are using two main operations just we are using JSUB and RSUB. So readrec and writerec are the two subroutines just we are using for reading the content from an input device that is named F1 and displaying the content onto the output device which is having the name that is 0 file. So next after that every time just we have to save the link registers first before the nested jump. So means because after executing that subroutine, yes, of course the control must be transferred back to the main routine where actually it has been stopped. Again the same operation must be continued. For that case it has to just we have to save the linkage register value each and every time. So this is the simple program just what we are taking for explaining all the concepts here. So here this is the SIC program just we are taking. So because they have mentioned pass 1 and pass 2 and one pass assembler for assembly SIC programming only. So because here the length of that instructions it is unique, it is same. So hence they are just giving that assembler, that is the SIC assembler here, the design of SIC assembler. So here the main program, the main purpose of that program, so which is used to read n number of files, n number of records from the file. At a time I can read only one record. So reading one record means it might be having n number of characters, maximum up to maximum length. So once the record has been read, so the same record has to be displayed onto the screen. So the record, it should have minimum number of characters. If record is not having any number of characters means it is 0 length record. So means it means it is end of file. So means there are no more records are there to be displayed. So this is the simple program just they have mentioned in your textbook. So here they have taken the same program throughout your SS, throughout your concepts or throughout your syllabus. So hence just I am going to explain the same thing. So here the program name, it is copy. So here start assembler directives just we are using. Already just I have explained the assembler directives: start, end, word, byte, reserve word and reserve byte. So these are the basic assembler directives just which we are using for writing any number of assembly level language program. So just you can observe that. So the program is being started from here. These are the line numbers just they have taken. So here copy, start. So what is the address? They have mentioned 1000. So means user, if they are mentioned that what starting address for that program, the assembler it will be taking the starting of that program, the starting address of that program is 1000. Otherwise it is going to consider the starting address is 0, right? So what actually it is going to do is, so means this is the first instruction, because we are giving the label name here, because after after converting the object code for each and every instruction, so again the control it must goes back to that the starting of that program. So at the end assembler directives we are going to mention that this label name. What is the label name? Just we are going to mention the first at the end assembler directive. So because it has to be, the control has to be transferred to the same point, the starting point. So after that, so this is the copy loop, C loop, so which is used to what which is used to reading a record, and the what in this C loop just we are calling read rec and write rec what subroutines here. The read rec, when we are calling that read rec subroutines, so means just it is going to jumping to that reading subroutine. So means the first record is going to be what read from an input device. So once that read rec is being completed, once the reading is being completed, so after that what I need to do is I want to get the length of that record. I want to get the length of that record. So what is the length of the record is to be displayed. If the length of the record it is 0, if the length of the record is 0, means what? So there are no more records are there to be displayed. So means there are no characters are to be displayed. So for that just we have to get the length of that one. So just I want to compare that length of the record with 0. So if it is 0 means there are no more records. If it is not 0 means I want to display the same record onto the output device. So for that just what I need to do is jsub to write rec. Write rec is another subroutines. So here there are three routines are there. Copy is the main routine. Copy is the main routine. Read rec is for reading record. Write rec is for writing record. So these three subroutines, these three routines are there. That is the main routine, that is the copy, and two subroutines, that is the what read rec and write rec. So here just I am going to explain this program now. So in this program, what is the first instruction? The start assembly directive. The address has been started with 1000. So after that the first instruction STL return address. So means store linkage register. So whatever the value which is present at that return address variable. So return address where actually whatever the variables we are using here, whatever the variables just we are using, all the variables must be present in the label field. So because we have to define all the variables here. So where actually the return address is there? Return address is there here. It is a reserved word which is having 1 word of length, which is having some kind of integer value. It is of 3 bytes length. It is of 3 bytes length, which is having the return address to transfer the control to back to the system. So the R subroutine, it is going to what? It is going to refer that linkage register value. So means this instruction is saying is store linkage register value with a return address. I don't know what value which is there in that return address variable at that time. So after that in the third line what actually it is there? JSub, it is the C loop is being started for reading, for taking the to jump the subroutine and to take the file and to be displayed. So this is the loop, that is copy loop for reading file, writing file onto the output screen. So JSub read rec. So means jump subroutine to the read rec. Where actually that read rec is there? So this is the main routine. So this is the subroutine. So which is being started from the line number 125. So this is the subroutine to read a character, read a record into the buffer. So what actually it is going to do is, so read rec subroutine is being started from here. So what is the first statement? Load index. Since it is SIC program, we are not using any kind of immediate addressing mode or any kind of other addressing modes. Just we are using direct addressing mode and the index addressing mode. So load index register value with the 0. 0 is the memory location. So here in the memory, this is the memory. This is the memory. So 0 is nothing but it is a memory location name. 0 is a nothing but it is a memory location name. So what actually that memory location it is holding? Yes, of course it is there in the main program. What actually that 0 it is having? It is a word, is nothing but it is an integer variable. What integer variable it is having? 0. So means the 0 memory variable, it is having the value 0 here. So means after that load accumulator, I want to initialize both index register and the accumulator value as 0 here. So let us assume, so each record it is capable of holding 4096 characters. 4096 characters. So this is the maximum length. So once the maximum length is exceeded, so it will not take any number of characters, it is end of record. That's it. So if I want to end that record in between, after entering 100 characters, I want to end that record. So I want to enter only that 0 there. That is the hexadecimal value. So right. So means each record is capable of holding 4096 characters. Each character requires 1 byte of space. Each character requires 1 byte of space. So means 4096 characters. So means here just we are going to representing all those things in the hexadecimal representation. So means everything should be converted into hexadecimal value. So just I'll explain later why we have to convert that hexadecimal value here, right. So after that means the index register value is initialized to, so now the index register value is initialized to what? The 0. Again, what is the next statement in that subroutine? Load accumulator with 0. So means accumulator it is also initialized with 0. So what the value which is present in the 0 memory location? 0 is nothing but it is a memory location name. So the loop is started here. So just loop name, just you can give any name. So just I am giving, we are taking here R loop means reading loop. So means for reading a record means at a time I can read only one character. At a time I can read only one character. So what I need to do is, so first I want to read a character. After reading that character, I want to check whether it is alphabet or 0. 0 means it is end of record means. So I want to check whether it is 0 or a character, that is the alphabet. So if it is alphabet, just I am going to reading the content from the input device, just I am going to store into the buffer. So buffer is nothing but it is a memory variable which is capable of holding 4096 characters, right. Each character it is of 1 byte of length. So just I am taking that buffer like this. It is capable of holding 4096 characters. Each character's length it is of 1 byte. So after that what we need to do is, so before reading that one, just I want to test the device. Already I explained how actually the TD instruction is going to be executed. Just I am going to testing that input device. What is the input device? Just I am giving that input device name, it is hexadecimal character F1. F1 is the input device name or number. So means just I am going to test the device of input. Input is nothing but what is the input device identifier? It is F1. Just I am going to check, I am going to test the F1 device is ready to transfer the data or not. So if the device is busy, because all the input and output devices, it is having its own queue, input output queue. So sometimes it might be busy. In that time, so just it is going to set the conditional code flag bit as equal. So test device, just I want to put that in infinite loop. So just it is going to, after testing that device, so the conditional code flag bit it is going to be set either equal, 0, equal or less than. If it is less than, so means the device is ready. If it is equal, the device is not ready. So in this case, test device, let us assume that device is ready at that time. So means it is going to set the conditional code flag bit as less than. So if it is less than, then it is going to check JEQ, jump equal. If it is equal, it is going to check that conditional code flag bit here. So if it is equal, again it is going to jump to the same instruction because it has to put into the infinite loop. So because we have to check that device is ready or not very frequently, right. So means it is equal, no, it is less than. So if this condition is failed, so what actually it is going to do is, it is going to jump to the next instruction. So next instruction, what is it? Once the device is ready, so then we can read the data, we can read a character. So read, where actually it is going to reading from input device. What is the input device? It is F1. It is going to reading the first character. So now let us assume, just I am going to reading a character. After reading, by default in an accumulator it is going to be stored, loaded. So after reading, let us assume just I am going to reading a character C here. I am going to reading a character C. So I want to check whether I am reading an alphabet or an integer value or any integer value. So because if I have entered any kind of integer value, that is 0, means it is end of record. It is the what main logic just we are having here. So once I am reading that character from an input device, so just I am reading a character C here. It is going to be represented in the form of ASCII value in the hexadecimal format, right. So read character from the input device, it is going to be stored in an accumulator. So after that I want to compare that value. So means it is taking an ASCII value for C. It is taking an ASCII value for C. So just it is going to comparing with 0. So what the 0 in the 0th memory location, what it is there? 0. Just it is going to comparing an accumulator value with the memory word, it is 0, right. So both are equal? No. It might be less than or greater than and whatever it might be. So both are not equal means it is not equal to 0. It is not equal to 0. If it is equal to 0 means it has to exit. Exit where actually the exit is there? It directly comes to this point. So JEQ, so means jump, it is equal. So comparing, it is going to comparing with 0. So after that it is going to set the conditional code flag bit. So as of course the C, the ASCII value of C, it is greater than of the 0. So means it is going to set the value of conditional code flag bit, it is greater than. So what is the next statement? Jump EQ. So jump EQ means if it is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, just it is going to exit. So means that is the end of the record. So here it is equal to greater than? No. So means it is going to skip this statement. So then it will come to this instruction. So once we have read from a character from the input device, I want to store the same character from the accumulator to the buffer with an index value x. So at that time what is the index value? X is there, it is 0. So means the buffer will be started from this memory location. So here the index value, it is going to be represented like this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 4096 characters, up to 4096 characters. So means here just what I need to do is store character to the buffer with the index register value 0. So what is the index register value at that time? 0. What is the buffer memory location? I don't know that buffer memory location now, right now. So means it is going to store to the first memory locations of that buffer the character C from an accumulator. Store character from an accumulator to the buffer with the index value 0. Alright. So after that I need to check the maximum length of the record, because after reading each and every instruction, just I want to check whether it is end of record or not. So end of record, either we have to enter 0, otherwise it has to reach that maximum length. So means every time just I need to check whether the record length it is exceeded than that of what maximum length of the record. So means just I want to check the index register value. So index register value with the maximum length. So what is the maximum length? So maximum length is nothing but it is a word, it is having the value 4096. It is having the value 4096. So means first the TIX instruction, what actually it is going to do is, it is going to incrementing the index register value first. So means the index register value, it became 1 year. After that it is going to check index register value with the memory location name, it is maximum length. Maximum length. So what is the index register value at that time it is having? What is the maximum length it is having? 4096. So the index register value, since it is less than that of the maximum length. If it is less than means I can read many more characters. So what I need to do is TIX maximum length. So means if it is less than, yes of course the index register value, it is less than. So just it is going to set the conditional code flag bit, it is as less than. The comparison and TIX instructions test device, both are going to set the what conditional code flag bit, either less than, greater than or equal. So if it is less than means, if it is less than, jump. If it is less than, to the R loop. So means I can read one more character. So means the record again, yes of course, j less than, yes of course the less, it is equal to less than. So if this condition is true, so where actually it has to jump less than R loop, again it will come to this one. Again just I am going to test the device for reading the second character. So I want to end up that first record with only one character. So here just I want to read 0 from an input device. So because the record length it is only 1. the maximum length, so the length of the record it is 1, the maximum length it is 4096. I can end up that record at any time, right. So what I need to do is, so next input device is ready. So next I am going to read a 0. I want to compare that accumulator value with a 0. Both are equal. It is going to set the conditional code flag bit as equal here. It is going to set the conditional code flag bit as equal. So if it is equal means I cannot read any more characters from an input device. That is the end of the record. I can end up that record at any time after reading a single characters, 100 characters, 10 characters, up to 4096 characters. That is the maximum length. If it is exceeded that the maximum length, it will not take any more characters from the input device, right. So means if it is equal means yes, of course 0 is equal to 0. 0 is equal to 0 means where actually the control goes to exit, where actually that exit is. So now just I want to store the length, I want to store the index register value with the value present in that, store index register value to the memory variable length. So length is nothing but it is the memory variable. So means just I want to get the length of the record to be displayed onto the screen. It might be having 1 characters, 100 characters like that. So means what is the index register value now? If it is having 1. So what this instruction is saying is store index register value. Store instruction is for storing the value from register to memory. To which memory it has to store? To the length. So means what is the index register value? 1. So the length value, what is the index register value? It is 1. It has to be stored in the memory variable length. So means the record length it is only 1 character. The record length it is only 1. So means it is having only 1 character. That's it. So you can read up to 4096 characters. At that time in between you can end up that record at any time by entering the 0. So this is the first record. After that return subroutine. It has to back to the main routine. So here we have stopped here jump subroutine. Again it is going to it goes to that redirect subroutine. So after that again it is going to resume back to this the next instruction of that one. So the program counter, once the program program is interrupted, so when it is calling subroutines or it is interrupted, arrives from any kind of input and output devices and all, so everything of that process means that is process states is being saved. That is program counter value on whatever the registers just we are using for that process or program, everything is going to be saved. So when it is resuming back, again the same thing is going to be reloaded. So means the program counter is going to be pointing to this instruction. So what this instruction is saying is load accumulator with a value which is present in the length. So means the accumulator must be loaded with the value which is present with the length. So length is nothing but what the value which is having 1. So means accumulator must be having the value 1. So I want to check whether the record length it is 0 or not. So if the record length it is 0, if the record length it is 0 means what? 0 means what? So means the record length 0 means it is no characters are there to be displayed onto the screen. So at a time I can read only 1 record. After reading that one, just I want to display the same record onto the screen. So means I want to check the length of that record with the 0, right. So comparing an accumulator value with 0. So here 1 is greater than 0, it is going to set the conditional code flag bit, it is greater than. As accumulator value it is greater than that of the memory word, that is the 0 which is present in the memory location 0. So if it is equal means if it is equal to 0 means it is end of file, it goes to this one end of file, just it has to display that end of file onto the output screen. So means there are no output records are there, there are no records are there to be displayed. So means it is equal to equal? No. So it is not equal to equal. So equal it is not equal to because it is less than, so means it won't be executed, then it is going to execute the next instruction jump subroutine, where actually it has to jump to the right track. So where actually the right track is there? This is the right subroutine. So once the record is been ready, I want to display the same record onto the output screen. So read, right? So means jump subroutine. So the line number is been started from the line number 210. So it's been started here. So what actually it is going to do is load index register value with 0, because I want to fetch this instruction from this buffer from each and every locations with its index value. I want to store it to an accumulator. From accumulator to the output device, just I need to display, isn't it? So means now the index register value again it has to be reset with the 0. Reset with the 0. Just I want to W loop is nothing but is the right loop. So just I want to check the device is ready or not, test device, whether the output device is ready or not. So if the device is ready, means it is going to set the conditional code flag bit as less than. If the device is not ready, the conditional code flag bit it is set to be as what, equal. Alright. So in this case what actually it is going to do is test device JEQ, means if it is equal it is going to that infinite loop. Otherwise if it is not, if it is less than, it is going to load character from the buffer with the index value 0. Buffer wherever it might be. Don't bother about that one. So here what the 0th position is there, what the character which is present at the 0th position of the buffer, character C. So means I want to load that character C from the buffer with the index value 0. So where just we have to load, so to an accumulator. So because it is having only an accumulator for performing any kind of operations, load, store, any arithmetic operation, just we have to use an accumulator here. So means the accumulator is going to be loaded with a character C. So just I am taking this representation, but it is taking an ASCII value here for comparing it, for storing, for loading, everything, just it is taking an ASCII value here, right. So load character with an accumulator from the buffer with the index register value 0. At that time the index register value what it is 0. So just it is going to decoding that instruction format, then it is going to get that an object code for that instruction. Already I explained how we can get an index register, index addressing mode, direct addressing mode and all, right. So after that I want to write the data from an accumulator to the output device. What is the output device? 05. So here let us assume the 05 is nothing but it is a monitor screen. So the first character is going to be displayed. The character it is the record it is having only one character. The first character is going to be displayed. Again I want to check some more characters are there in that record or not. So if some more records, some more characters are there, so means it has to be displayed. It has to be what displayed onto the output screen. So means I want to check the length of that record again, the length of that record with the index value. So index value it is going to be incremented. So the now index register value what it is 1, right. So what is the, just I am going to comparing with the value with the length. So what actually the length it is having only 1. So what is the index register value? It is 1. What is the length? It is 1. So both are equal. It is going to set the conditional code flag bit as equal. It is going to set the conditional code flag bit as equal. So means if it is less than, means if the index register value is less than the length, means some more characters are there to be displayed. So if it is equal, means no more characters are there. So means if it is less than, again it will go to the W loop for displaying some more characters to the screen. Otherwise it will go to this R sub, means return subroutine. Return subroutine. So means it will go to that where actually it is going to resuming to this one. So again jump C loop. Again it is going to jump to read one more record from an input device. So if the second record it is of length 0, it is of length 0. So means the length is going to be stored here. So again it is resuming back to this one. Load accumulator with the length. Accumulator value it is 0. It is going to comparing with the 0. If both are 0 means, if both are equal means, so means it is what does it mean? It is there are no more records are there to be displayed, isn't it? So after that if both are equal to 0, it goes to that end of file, end file. So end file label. So that end file what actually we need to do is, so just we have to store that load accumulator with EOF. What actually that EOF is nothing but it is a byte which is having 3 characters. Accumulator is capable of holding what 24 bits of information. 3 bytes is nothing but 24 bits. So means it is going to, the accumulator is holding the value EOF there. So after that we are going to store the same thing, store accumulator to buffer, load again, just we are going to set the load accumulator with the maximum length, it is 3. Again I want to display that only that end of file. There are no more records are there to be displayed, means at the end of the time I want to display only that EOF onto the screen. So for that this code will be executed. So means just I am going to checking with that length 3, write rec, it is going to go to that write rec. Again load linkage register value with return address for returning subroutine value. After displaying that one, so that is the end of the program. There are no more records are there to be displayed onto the screen. So this is the simple program just they have taken. This is the SIC program. Just you have to trace out this program by your own if you have textbook, otherwise just you can download the same from the internet, right. So this is the simple program, just you have to trace out how actually it works, right. So means this is a simple program just we have taken for explaining everything what that is the relocation concept, loading, linking, every concept just we are going to cover by using this program like that. By using these assembler directives just we are going to constructing our own program by using this, the basic assembler directives. Apart from that just we can use some more assembler directives, that is the base relocatable registers, reorganizations, for everything just we are using different kinds of assembler directives. So here the main basic functions of an assembler. So whatever the instruction it might be, so what the user has given. So first it is going to convert that mnemonic code or instruction name. Instruction name is nothing but load accumulator, store character, load index register, add A. These are the instructions just we can say. Mnemonic code into its opcode. Every instruction it is having its own opcode. It is of 2 hexadecimal digits of 1 byte length. After that, so as we know that if we are taking one instruction in the previous one, so just we are taking the first instruction. So it is having the label field, the mnemonic field and the symbolic field. So these 3 fields are there. Symbolic field. So first what actually it is going to do is, first it is going to convert that mnemonic code into its equivalent opcode. So here what is the first mnemonic code? It is store index register, store linkage register value with the value which is present in return address, right. So this is the mnemonic value. For each this mnemonic value it is having its own opcode. It is of 1 byte length of 2 hexadecimal digits. First it is going to convert this mnemonic code into its opcode. So then it is going to convert the symbolic operand into its address. For example is the variable name. Return address is the variable name. So it is going to convert this symbolic value, a symbolic operands into its address. So after that choose the proper instruction format and addressing mode. So for this instruction, what the addressing modes which is feasible in SIC, it is direct addressing mode, because it does not have any kind of index register in the operand field. So means what actually it is going to do is, it is going to convert, it is going to choose the proper instruction format and the addressing mode. After that, if any constants are there in that program, that constants must be converted into numbers. Then after that we have to output to the object file and the listing file. So means we have to make the assembler is going to generate an object file for that one. So assembler what actually is going to do is, first it is going to convert the mnemonic value into its equivalent opcode. So after that it is going to convert the symbolic operands into its address. After that it has to choose the proper instruction format and addressing modes for assembling that object code for that particular instruction. So if any constants or variables or constant variables are defined in that program, for every constant it has to convert that variable value into its equivalent constants. So then it has to write to the output file. So this is the main function of an assembler. So for the same program, just everything is going to be done by an assembler here. So what actually that assembler is going to do is, so just it is going to convert, since this program it is what SIC program. So here either we can use direct addressing mode or index addressing mode here. So just you can observe that from where actually it is been started, from the memory location 1000. So means what actually the assembler is going to do is, it is going to assigning the memory location for each and every instruction by incrementing 3 bytes at a time, because the instruction length in the SIC it is 3 bytes. So means it has to assign at the same time, it is going to assign the what address. After that it is going to convert this into its equivalent opcode, and it is going to convert this symbolic address into that address. So by looking at that one, just I am not talking about pass 1 and pass 2 here. So just I am having this program. Let us assume the assembler is first assigning all the addresses here. So at the 1000 this instruction is there, at the 1003 this instruction is there, at the 102D 3 is there, 102E 2A EVOF there. For each and every instruction it has to be incremented by 3 bytes, because the instruction length, it is for SIC it is 3 bytes of length. So means just it is going to get an object code for each and every instruction. What actually it is going to do is, it is going to convert this mnemonic field into its equivalent opcode. So means this is an object code for this instruction. So it is of 3 bytes length, 6 hexadecimal digits, it is of 3 bytes length. What actually is going to do is STL to the opcode for STL, it is 14. So just it is going to convert that one. So after that return address, it has to get the address of the return address. Return address is the variable where actually the return address is there at the memory location 1003. So means it is going to convert this memory variable into its address, that is the 1033. So it is easy for SIC, but it is not easy for SIC XC. What is the next instruction? JSUB. For the JSUB, what the opcode, it is 48, where actually the read rec is there. So read rec is at the memory location 2039, where actually the read rec is there at the memory location 2039. So means 48 is the opcode for JSUB, 2039 is for read rec. Read rec is at the memory location 2039. So this is the way how to assemble this one. So here after that, if it is having any constant value, yes of course EVOF is a byte. EVOF is the memory name which is having the byte. Byte is nothing but is a constant value. Reserve byte is not a constant. Dynamically we can store any value. So byte, so what the character string it is having? EVOF, there are 3 characters. So for EVOF it is going to convert its ASCII value into its hexadecimal representation. That is the 45 for E, F4, sorry for F it is for O, for F it is 46. Again 3 is the word, it is of 3. What the value which is having 3. So here just it is going to convert this value, that is it is having value 3. So 0 it is having the word is nothing but is an integer variable 0, then it is going to convert, it is going to represent it in the form of 3 bytes. So 0 0 0 0 0 0. So this is how actually we can create an object code for that one. So in this case if it is having the buffer, so for this it is having an instruction what just we can say, just we have to use the index addressing mode here. So means STCH, that is buffer comma X. So means we have to instruction in that instruction format. Already I explained, in that instruction format the index register bit as to be set as 1. So just you can observe that directly I cannot use the STCH, it is 54 and 90, where actually the buffer is there. Where actually that buffer is there, the buffer is at the memory location 1039. So but in this case just you can observe that 9039. So because we are using the index register value here, so means we have to consider the index register value. So means we have to set the index register bit as 1. So for that just we are getting that value instead of 1039. So this is how actually the assembler is going to generate an object code for the program line by line. So after that it is going to forming what an object file for the loader or linker to be loaded into the primary memory. So means in the next class just I am going to explain what is the algorithms or assembler algorithms, what are the why the different passes are required for processing that program, pass 1, pass 2 assembler and 1 pass assembler. So just I am taking such kind of concepts in the next class. Thank you.